What's up YouTube, this is URC Shadow and welcome to a strategy guide for Bust Out. This is a level 55 mission offered by Leicester and requires only a minimum of 1 player to start the mission. So bringing up the payout table, you can see if you complete this between 6 and 8 minutes you'll get $12,780, and if you complete it between 8 minutes and 10 minutes you'll get $14,910. It's not really possible to complete this mission anything before 5 minutes 30, so you want to aim for the 6-minute completion time to get the best payout per minute, which would work out at $2,130 per minute. Okay, so let's look at what this mission entails. Bringing up the map, this is a bit of a weird one. Most of the time we're forced to start in this location in the desert, but every now and then we're allowed to start wherever we were when we joined the job. As soon as the mission starts, the prison van is going to start leaving the police station at Palito Bay and start making its way down the freeway. We're going to intercept it by racing to the end of this tunnel, lying in ambush and waiting for it to arrive. Once it arrives, we're going to retrieve the prisoner we need to save, and then escort him back to Leicester's warehouse all the way down in Los Santos. So there are 3 different methods we can use to complete this mission, which will depend on what sort of level you are and what equipment you've bought. So the first method is to just use a personal vehicle. This is available to everyone. I've rated the difficulty as medium and the speed as slow because it will take you a long time to complete the mission. The next option is a buzzard helicopter. It's available if you've spent the $1,750,000. I've rated the difficulty as easy and the time to complete is fast. And finally there's a Cuban 800 plane to use. That's available to everyone. Difficulty is insane and the speed is also fast if you manage to pull it off. So let's look at the personal vehicle method first. We're going to start up the mission and we're going to jump in our personal car. If it's not nearby we're going to need to call it, but time is critical here because we are racing to intercept that prison bus. Once we're in the car we're going to turn left, head down the road, over the railway and then turn right. And then we're going to head down this road all the way to the freeway. And apologies for these things that keep popping up on the left hand side. Someone on my friends list kept joining a group and leaving again whilst I was recording, so I was just going to blank out the box. However, I thought I'd put some suggestive videos up there that you might be interested in. Once we get there we're going to take a left, going with the traffic just to make our lives a bit easier. And there are going to be 2 overhead signs that we're going to need to watch out for. This is the first one and this is the second one. That's not very important for this method. One of the later methods is very important, so just remember where you saw them. As you approach the tunnel, go into the central reservation, and if you've got time to spare, you can work your way to the other side of the freeway. Once you're at the side of the road, stick to the right hand side so you've got a better view down the tunnel. You want to get out, pull up your sniper rifle, ideally a heavy sniper rifle, but if you've only got a standard one, it's not the end of the world. Have a quick look on your map, see where the prison bus is up to, and then basically just wait for it to arrive. Once it's getting closer, zoom in down the tunnel, and you want to stay to the far right of the road because traffic at this point will start to panic a little bit. Once you spot the prison bus, line it up to take out the driver. He'll be on the right hand side, and then you can approach the bus. Watch out, there will be a prison guard on board as well, and he'll suddenly pop out with a shotgun, which if you're not careful like it did there, will take off all your arrow. Next, run all the way up to the prisoners that have just got out of the bus. That is a very important point, and if you literally don't run into him, he won't start following you. Run back to your car. If you're in a 2-door, move it around so we can get in the other side. And then the next bit is the difficult and long bit. So you've got a 3-star wanted rating. You've got enemy helicopter on you as well, which means you're not going to be able to lose them very easily. So you haven't got much choice here, except to just gun it down the freeway, avoiding the police as best you can. I wouldn't bother trying to shoot the police. You don't get any extra RP for killing them. And unfortunately, your passenger's entire contribution to the whole of this is to split the bird at any police that go past. Now for your sake and mine, I'm going to speed it up in between the police encounters. But as you can see, the police are pretty aggressive even at 3 stars, and they will make your life a living hell trying to get back to Los Santos. At this point here, the freeway is going to split in 2 directions, and you're going to want to get in the lane that goes left. All will be revealed why in a minute. Again, continue to dodge the police as best you can, and I'd definitely advise having an AP pistol ready, just in case you do need to kill police whilst you get stuck. but there's no point using ammo needlessly, because it's just going to cost you money for no real benefit. As you can see, what I'm trying to do here is fake left and right, to try and put the police off so I can go around them. It works most of the time, but it doesn't work every time. Once you get to this point here, you'll notice a train bridge going across the freeway, and you'll want to head up the hill on the right hand side and then get yourself onto the train tracks. Now this is a similar tactic we used in crime scene stuff. Get into this railway tunnel and then sit out waiting for the police to lose interest. Once they finally lost interest, you can head out the tunnel, head between the gap between this railing and the bridge, head down into the riverbed, and then follow it round underneath the freeway, up the hill the other side, over the top, and hey presto, you're at Leicester's warehouse. So as I mentioned, this is obviously available to everyone because everyone has a car. However, it is the slowest method to get back. So let's look at the second method, which was the buzzard attack helicopter. As you know, this costs just over 1.7 million, and before you call it from Pegasus, you'll need to turn right out of here, head to the end of the road by the freeway, wait for the buzzard to be called, and then head back. If you call the buzzard at the start point, then it will spawn at the next available airport, which is miles away. Once you're in the buzzard, pretty much head in the same direction. Obviously you can cut corners this time, but you'll basically want to link up with the freeway and then set it down again in the central reservation just so the traffic doesn't smash into it, and then again pull out your sniper rifle. Wait for the prison bus to arrive, and then when it does, just like before, take out the driver that's on the right hand side. Again, watch out for the guard that's also on board with the shotgun. How's that for a shot? Once it's clear, run up to your prisoner, and he should start following you back to your helicopter. Now this is going to be a lot easier than it was with the car, because with the buzzard we can outrun the police, and we can outrun the enemy helicopters. As you'll see below, I'm shooting random police cars with the rockets, and I'm not getting any RP for it, so this is a complete pointless exercise, and to be honest we'll just reset the timer for how long it takes to get rid of the police. So make sure you got better height, and you're out of view of the police cars, and after a while you should just lose the cops as you're making your way to Leicester's warehouse. Once you get there, simply land, and that's probably one of the quickest, cheapest ways to complete the mission.
Alright, thanks,
Right, final method, the Cuban 800. So this plane is available to everyone, you don't need to purchase it. Rockstar very nicely left it in a hangar for us nearby, and I begin to think they actually intended us to use this all along. So grab a car, make your way to this hangar in the desert airfield, jump in the plane, watch out for the boxes on the right hand side whilst you're taxiing out the hangar, take off, bring up your landing gear, and then do a 180 and start heading towards the tunnel. Once you join up the freeway, remember those overhead signs we pointed out at the beginning? There's the first one, and there's the second one there. After the second sign, bring down your landing gear and start making your descent. You want to slow it down as much as possible without falling out the sky to give the traffic behind you as much warning and as chance as possible to not run into the back of you. Once you've landed, try and bring it to a stop at the gap in the barrier just to ensure you have as clean as possible getaway at the end, and then get to the same place again, bring out your sniper rifle and take out the driver. That one was a bit close, and to be honest, at this point I then followed up by emptying a few clips into the bus and actually killed the security guy there as well. approach the door if the prisoners haven't come out yet, make sure you bump into your prisoner, and then start heading towards the plane. Now unfortunately in this method the prisoner was a bit slow to get into the plane, but that was alright because it gave me some time to get the engines running. Once it's in the plane, start taking off. You'll notice a shadow on the ground from the police helicopter that's swooping in as I start to take off, but luckily he runs into a lamppost. Start taking off, bring up your landing gear, and then you may want to turn around somewhere else because I tried it here and I made it by the skin of my teeth. Once you've turned around, you can start heading back to Los Santos. What you can see I've done here is I've stayed high and I've stayed away from the road. And then I've just kept an eye out for any police helicopters that have spawned in front of me to ensure I don't run into their cone of vision. So I concentrated so hard on actually getting to this point, I hadn't actually thought about where to land. Circling Leicester's, I decided not to try and land on the roads. So I went around the freeway, and that looked pretty suicidal as well. So in the end there was only one place to land. Check this out. So at this point you could call your own car, but to be honest, I was having such a ball in the plane, I decided to see if I could get to the end without even getting out of the plane. So anyway guys, I hope you found these useful. If you did, please feel free to support the channel with your likes and subscriptions, and feel free to check out all my other videos, links to which you can find in the description. Cheers guys, thanks for watching.